Good morning. I hope that you are well. I bring you the devotional verses this morning. The beginning of Psalm 29. Ascribe to the Lord, O heavenly beings. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Worship the Lord in the splendor of holiness. That's Psalm 29, verses 1 through 2. It is good to be reminded of the greatness of God. Sometimes, when we're facing hard times, when we're going through personal difficulties and struggles, when we're looking at the darkness in the world, the most important thing we need is to get that perspective, being reminded of the majesty of God, of the glory of our God and Savior, that puts into perspective all of our struggles, all of our troubles, all of our needs, and all of the fears around us. And so in this time when a lot of people are dealing with fear because there are things to be afraid of. And when you perhaps are dealing with personal challenges that are very difficult in your life, I hope that you can find some encouragement and strength from these verses and from meditating on the glory of God. It, it's a call to worship here given to the heavenly beings, literally, I think, sons of God, probably a reference to the angels. And David says this word over and over again, ascribe, and that means to give to God, to credit to God his majesty and glory. And so he summons the angels and by implication all the people of God, all of those who worship God, to proclaim the glory of God, to proclaim his glory and strength, the glory that's due his name, the splendor of his holiness, the majesty and might of God, the sheer wonder of who God is. And when we look at God and we look at his greatness, his splendor and majesty, it puts in perspective the dangers of the world. We are reminded that no power in this world can compete with God. We are reminded that none of the charms of this world, the glitz and glamour of the world's splendor and temptation, that none of that can compete with the glory of God. We are reminded of God's eternity and his enduring majesty, that this world, with all of its dangers and all of its temptations, will fade away, but God is forever. And then we may be drawn to remember the gospel, where the love of God is shown upon the cross, and the power of God is shown in the resurrection. The glory of God is shown in his saving work. And we remember that he has given us life in his Son, Jesus Christ, and that for those who trust in him, he is bringing them into an eternal kingdom where they will forever rejoice in his majesty and glory. So we can endure the challenges of today, and we can take strength against the threats we face. And we can look at the fears and the terrors of this world and say, my God is greater, my God is stronger, my God will see me through. May God be your comfort and your strength into this day and into this week. Bless.